Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Man, it's simple as this. Like it's a sad situation, man. It's a sad situation when like you like look all over the internet and you look just you know at what's going on around the world and you see a bunch of black men who are trying to do the best they can to talk to other black men and other young, black boys that are growing up to try to make it to be a black man, and they can't really tell them a way of how to properly protect themselves, from, like police brutality or how to properly carry themselves to where they don't get fucked with, or how to properly just put like this. There ain't no waking up and just being lucky as a black man. Like, you can't luck your way through this. You know what I mean? It's like you literally gotta just wake up and hope that today is not your day. You know, like, they don't have answers to tell black people, other black men and black women how to properly carry themselves. Like I tell people all the time, man, like, you can dress however you want to. You can go and you can look as non quote unquote confrontational as you think you are or whatever, and that don't help. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always used to tell me, man, maybe you should like cut your beard down. Like, I cut my beard down just because, I was doing something with my face when it came to masks. I didn't cut my beard down because of what's going on. But people always want you to like change who you are and change your appearance to make other people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing you can do as a black person that's going to make the wrong mindset having white person or non-black person feel safe. There's nothing you can do. I don't care like how clean you are. I don't care how, quote unquote presentable you may be. There's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like, to make the wrong mindset having person feel safe. Like, get that out your mind. Like, it's a lot of black people that have it in their mind that think that, well, maybe if I just wear suits, maybe if I just look clean cut, maybe if I just none of that shit helps. None of that. Like, get that ideology out your head. That ideology of that he looks like a quote unquote hood person or a hoodlum or a thug or whatever. None of that works, because I've lived both lives throughout my years of living. I've lived the clean cut life, and I'm gonna tell you this. I started growing my beard back years ago before it was a fad. Like, big beard, everything, all that. And guess what? I've been in more trouble with the quote unquote clean cut look than I was looking aggressive, as some of my fellow black people will say. Look look confrontational, as some of my black people will say. Get that ideology out your head. You know what I'm saying? There's no lucking your way through this. You know what I'm saying? There's no proper way to deal with whenever that cop pulls up or whatever and he just got the wrong mindset. There's no way to deal with that. There's no way to deal with that at all. You see what I'm saying? There's no proper way to walk through life as a black man. Yeah, I get it. There's certain things that you shouldn't do. Certain lifestyles you shouldn't live. But that's people in general. A life of criminality, that's people in general. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different topic. But when I come outside my house and like when you see, like, let me just tell y'all like this. It's sad when I have a son, 14 years old. Yeah, granted, he looks, me and him are same height. He about 6'2" now. You know what I'm saying? So he looks like a grown man. I'm a grown man. You know, he's built like a grown man. You know, but it's sad when your kid can't come outside of their own house and take out the trash on a day. Yeah, granted, it's raining outside. It was raining a little earlier. And you can't come outside, you know, in your hoodie to take your own trash out for your family on trash day without a cop seeing you and aggressively turning down your street and parking at the end of the street. And your kid has to call you because before all these actions, you know, you get a little lax as a parent when you don't hear these incidents in the news, but now you have to kind of, you know, be ahead of the curve. Like my son had to literally call me and like, hey, you know, we taking out the trash. You know, I'm taking out the trash, and like, you know, all of a sudden, you know, a cop just turned down the street, like real, like, you know, like he just had to come back and make a quick turn down the street, and he parked at the end of the street. You can't take out your own trash in your own crib. You know, but other kids who may have had that chore could do that with no problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like other kids who had that chore, little Hispanic, little Latin kids, little white kids or whatever, these same cops could roll down these streets and see these kids and recognize the face in the hoodie and just keep it moving. Like there's no way to tell your kid how to plan for something as small as that. There's no way to tell your kid how to plan for something as small as that. Just to be initially smart, to be able to call your parents and tell you, hey, I'm outside and the cop just aggressively turned down your street because I guess I'm in a hoodie and I'm taking out my trash. You know what I mean? Like you can't luck your way through this. And it's a sad thing that we live in a life, we live in a world where this has to happen. You know? So now we gotta go through this again. We gotta go through this itinerary again of my son being, you black, you young, you look bigger than the average teen. You can't move like your quote-unquote white buddies you go to school with. You can't move, quote-unquote, like your Latin buddies you go. You can't do that. You know what I mean? And this is why. See, you always wanted to know why because you never got in an incident or a situation where you had to understand why. This is why. This is why you can't move like them. Small things like this. This is why you can't move like your quote-unquote peers of another race. Just small stuff like this. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if my son was coming out the side gate of my house and not coming out the garage of an open garage where it's really evident that you stay there because the fucking garage is open. Imagine if he was coming out the side gate pulling the trash can out. Or not even pulling the trash can out. Imagine if he was just coming out the side gate with a hoodie on in a little rain. Imagine what the stop would have been like then. And you can't, it's no proper way to prepare a kid for that. You know? And you just got to tell your kids, man, they can't move through life as freely as the next race. Yeah, and I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, man, you know, you're not being, you know, optimistic and everything like that. Man, look, I ain't no pessimist either. I'm a very, very optimistic person. Man, I'm a very, very hopeful person. I'm hopeful. I tell people about hope every day. You know, I tell people that you can't lose your hope every day. I tell people that you can't lose your smile every day. I tell people that you can't lose your laughter every day. I tell people that you can't lose your peace every day. That's what I do. I tell people that. In these times, even when the times are not like this, I tell people you cannot lose that good natured spirit about yourself. But guess what? There are times where you're going to get pissed off. You know? There are times you're going to get pissed off. Why? Because you can't produce the perfect answer that's going to save your kid's life. There's no perfect answer to produce to your black child. Not just a black male child, your black female child. There's no perfect answer to produce for your black child as a black parent of what's going to save their life from meeting the wrong racist minded having person. There's no perfect answer you can produce. Why? You know why? Because they've been trying to produce it for how many years now? People say you gotta be optimistic. You gotta find a way or figure out a way. And that's what we do every day. But guess what? There ain't no perfect answer to tell you how to maneuver through a racist person's mindset. There ain't no perfect answer for that. You know, y'all gotta, I don't tell nobody to live in fear. That's one thing you cannot do in this world. You can't live in fear. Why? Because fear will leave you restricted. Fear will have you stuck and stagnant and not doing nothing. Fear will have you at a standstill and not doing anything. You can't live in fear. Now you have to live ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? You have to live ahead of the curve. This is just life. And this is just life as we know it. You know, you have to live ahead of the curve. You can't live and then wait till something happens and then wanna all of a sudden make a contingency plan for when something happens. You cannot live like that. You just can't. But man, until then, man, like, y'all just be safe, man. Like, it's something that we have to do. We just have to stay ahead of the curve. We have to, when it comes to our kids, we have to overthink their steps. We have to overthink their moves. That's what we have to do. And it's no perfect way to do that. But you just have to be, as a black parent, you still have to be 10, 15 steps ahead of your own child. You know what I mean? You have to, you know, with your hope and with your optimism, you have to be 10, 15 steps ahead of your own kid in the moves that they make, because there's no perfect answer to tell them. There's no perfect way to tell them how to protect themselves. They get pulled over. There's no perfect way to tell them to keep your hands on the wheel, because guess what? Obviously, we see that don't work. There's no perfect way to tell them to, this is how you present your information when a cop asks for it, because guess what? That don't work. You know, there's no perfect way to tell them how to get out of a car, because obviously that don't work. There's no perfect way to tell them how to keep your hands up in the air, because that don't work. There's no perfect way to tell them how to put their hands behind their back on their head, because that don't work. You know, like none of that is working, because why? You know why it don't work? It don't work because what's in the motherfucker's mind when they don't like your kind, there ain't no answer for that. There ain't no answer for no wicked-minded person. I don't care how much y'all want to get out here and y'all pray. And guess what? I'm a praying person. I pray every day and every night. But there's no way, there's no prayer that's going to make this motherfucker change their heart, change their mind. There's no prayer for that. People have free will over their life. That means they wake up and they do whatever the fuck they want to do. Whether it's right or wrong, knowing that they have a crooked, corrupt system that's going to back them up. There ain't no answer for that. Yeah, we can keep on looking and we can keep on hoping that we're going to change people's minds. You know, you just have to move throughout life and hopefully and understand that hopefully, man, this is not a day that I run into a wicked person. That's the only way. I move through life and trying to enjoy my day and hoping this is not the day that I run into a wicked minded person. That's all you can hope for. But until then, man, y'all enjoy y'all day, man, and do the best you can to protect your kids. Do the best you can to inform your kids. You know, do the best you can.